Good morning and welcome bright and early to this edition of The Breakfast Club. My name is Toya Singh, joining you of course live from our studios in New Delhi. Let's take a very quick look at all of the stories that we have lined up for today, because we're going to be looking at something very exciting, something that's always said it's the secret of making the dreams come true. And because it's the new year, we thought manifestation, how to manifest, whether there's science backing it, that's the perfect topic to start the year with. Let's take a look. First, in the headlines and what we have lined up for you on the show, as we said earlier, the art of manifestation. So what goes into unlocking our potential? Now, we always talk about the importance of practicing gratitude, for example. How does that play a role, though, in manifesting success? We're told that the mantra is to believe first and only then does achievement follow. But what does believing actually look like in real time? We're going to talk a little bit about manifesting, and we have experts joining us to do that with us. And how you can turn your karmic lessons into growth beyond just manifestation. We're also going to be bringing you numerology insights, how to navigate 2025. You know that 2025 is number 9, 2 plus 2 plus 5. But what does that actually mean for different numbers, and how do you calculate your number? All of that and more right here on the show. And Delhi's AQI, where are we right now in both AQI and weather? We take a look at both as interesting numbers come in, pointing out that December this past year was actually Delhi's cleanest December since AQI was introduced in 2015, which is actually very funny and interesting, because we look at the numbers, we talk about how terrible they are, but the average actually coming in at 294 makes it one of the best since 2015. It's not just that, we'll be bringing you the New Year's update, so where the air quality and the weather fall right now, what they look like in predictions in the next few months. We're going to take a look at that and more. New year, new car. We take a look at the 2024 Toyota Camry walk around. It's a hybrid luxury sedan that ticks the boxes, and Overdrive brings you the review. Our first story today, it's 2025. It's a year that hopefully is brimming for you with possibilities. Now, many of us are setting new goals. We're seeking personal growth. We're aiming to manifest our deepest aspirations. The beginning of a new year inspires reflection for all of us. And there's a sense of renewed commitment to whatever your personal goals are. It's a time when we envision our best selves and chart our paths out to achieve our dreams. Central to this journey is the practice of manifestation, the powerful tool of aligning our intention with our actions. We often hear this word manifestation in several contexts, and it's crucial to understand what manifestation is. Is it just wishful thinking? Is it more than wishful thinking? What takes it from just wishful thinking to more? Is it a deliberate process, as experts say, of defining our desires, of visualizing success and taking concrete steps towards it? And how different is it from just habit formation? Now, experts have always said that you just need to focus your thoughts, you need to use your energies positively, and then you can rewire your brain to recognize and seize opportunities. But what does that actually look like? What is the practice like? How often should you do it? This is a practice, remember, that's often said to be backed with ancient wisdom. The concept of manifestation is not in any way one that is new. You had the 2000s book, The Secret, that came along and repopularized the idea of manifestation, renewing it and bringing it back into public consciousness. But in one sense, it's a concept that's always been there. Complementing manifestation is, of course, other principles. One, for example, of which is the principle of holistic health, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and how all of that is actually very important to the truth of manifestation. To break all of that down, to tell you how you can manifest, what truth there is to it, to tell us a little more, we have two experts who've dedicated their lives to guiding other people through these journeys. First up, to tell us a little more, we have Dr. Mehta. Dr. Mehta is someone who's renowned as a life coach. People turn to him for positive guidance every single day, and we thought we'd come to him to understand a little bit more. Dr. Mickey or Dr. Mehta, how would you like to be known, sir? We should check that out with you first and then we'll go ahead with our further questions.
Mouse in the house.
Love it. All right. Okay, so Dr. Mehta or Dr. Mickey or Mouse in the House, that doesn't feel right yet for the morning, so we'll ease into it. But tell our audiences first, what to you is the truth to manifestation? Because manifestation is one of those tricky topics that in the last few years, I've also seen a lot of books and experts refer to it as pseudoscience. So to you, where is the science? How can one ground themselves in the realistic parts of it? How do you look at the discussion around the concept?
To set the records right, The Secret wasn't the first book on manifestation. Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, way back in early 90s, the highest seller ever, was the first book on manifestation. Secret was a copy-paste. Deepak Chopra delved deep into the realm of Samarpan, Swikriti. Samarpan is what? Absolute surrender, submissiveness. Swikriti is acceptance. Then Samarthan, that you get from the universe. Then you become Samarth and Saksham. Then you get Siddhi. And then Sankalpa and Samruddhi. So that's the process of manifestation. And to explain this scientifically, the quantum physics says that energy is superconscious, indeterministic. But when you put attention to the field, you energize it. When you put intention into the field, you transform it. So manifestation can be explained. The manifestation of a terrorist, because of their determination, they sometimes win over the determination to stop the terrorism. There is no God sitting out there to stop terrorism. It is the determination of the human being. Only a human being can rise above gods or fall below animals with the power of his consciousness. This consciousness is the reason why we manifest. But the manifestation of people in deep faith is about being completely submissive. When we say talk about the flow, the flow is nothing but put your faith to test. Allow the manifester to manifest and the best happens to you. Then coming back to the science, which Joe Dispenza explains it very well, the coherence of your head and the heart. Now that is also nothing but the unity consciousness of yoga. When you sit in samadhi or when you sit in siddhi or sukhasan, your whole position is a sacred geometry for you to wish and put your Agyan Chakra into play, focus on that and imagine. So when circumstances can create feelings, imagination and feelings can create circumstance also. It's the opposite. So the science for meditation is coherence of your head and the heart, consonance of your prefrontal cortex, and resonance of your limbic reptilian brain. Alignment of your chakras right from Mooladhara, which is the Kund, which is the potential energy, to become the immeasurable manifested energy. So when you align with your Sahasrara, with your pineal Agyan, then with your Vishuddhi, then Anahat means Karuna, and then your Manipura, then Swadhisthana, and then your Kundali. Now this Sushma Nadi, the subtle, which cannot be seen by naked eyes, but can be realized and can be aligned for you to become wholesome and soulsome. Only soulsome people can consciously manifest, but others can accidentally manifest also. So manifestation is nothing but the determination. Very, very important is, why do we want to manifest when there is always an override above us? What is the override? The collective consciousness. Every human being can manifest up to 99%, but that 0.1% will be the override of the collective consciousness, which we call preordained. So life is both, and there is no contradiction here, and there is no paradox also. Life is preordained and life can be manifested. Now both work together in harmony. So when we say what is yoga, yoga is nothing but creating harmony of the confluence of energies. Ganga comes from here, Yamuna comes from here. They meet at a point of confluence which is Prayagraj, and Saraswati is born. So consciously with yoga principles you can birth new entities. So confluence. Then sacred geometry. Manifestation is about being in sacred geometry, and right from making your body subservient, you make the energy feel subservient.
So, Dr. Mickey, can I just
Yeah.
ask you, if we take everything that you're saying and break it down into simple steps for our audiences, I really want to ask you to almost give us a step-by-step here, because there's a lot of contradictory instructions out there. Let me just shed light there. There's, some experts who say that write about what you want, but when you write about it as if it's already happening. For example, if I wanted to be a national level basketball player, to say I am a national level basketball player. The other is the tactic of visualization, to sit for 10 minutes, already imagine yourself as one. Do you agree with these practices? Do you have another set of very specific practices you make people who come to you do?
So writing starts at the kindergarten level. Speaking starts at a little graduation level. And manifestation in silence, sankalpa, siddhi, samruddhi, samadhi, happens at the most advanced level. So if you see Ashtanga of Yoga, it is a ladder of evolution which translates into manifestation. So it's like Yama Niyama. So your interactive discipline with yourself and your environment in one parlance. Then Asana Pranayama, your sacred geometry and your regulated breath. Two more ingredients for manifestation. Then Pratyahara, internalizing of senses, which means silencing your inner dialogue and the conflict between your head and the heart. Pratyahara. Then Dhyana. Then attention. Then Dharna. एक चीज के लिए अगर धारणा कर दी, then you will not let go till you fulfill it. Then sadhana samadhi. Dhyan, dharana, samadhi. Then in samadhi is the ultimate fulfillment of your being in one thought. Ekjut means unison. Ekagrata means in completeness and wholeness. And it is a perfect science. Today neuroscientists are talking about that it's beyond your brain. Your brain is just an actualizer of everything which is outside of there in Akasha. Your brain is like a TV set. You switch on what is being played outside. You catch and you create and transmit. So that's the difference between the actual TV and the brain. So you receive as a television, but you transmit as a transponder also. So which is why only human beings can rise above gods or fall below animals. Krishna, Christ, Muhammad, Mahadev, Zarathustra, Buddha, everyone, all of them were human beings and gods in seed form. They nurtured, they blossomed, they became gods. What stops you and me? So yoga, Ayurveda, naturopathy are the tools of not just manifestation, because manifestation is at the lowest level of spirituality.
Oh.
The highest level of spirituality is absolute swikriti, acceptance, absolute surrender, because you are in absolute faith. So you don't want to get out to manifest.
Oh, wow.
You are in so much faith that you allow the manifester to manifest. You can become the co-creator by participating in the manifestation. So every human being can become a co-creator of his destiny, because we have two legs to walk towards it. We have two hands to make it. We have a mind to perceive it, a heart to believe it, and a spirit to achieve it. But being in the mode of swikriti and samarpan, that is when you become samarth, saksham, and you get the samarthan of the whole universe. Then siddhi, sankalpa, samadhi, samruddhi.
Dr. Mickey, can I just ask you then, maybe lastly, because I think we just have a few minutes left. You said something very beautiful right now, that the highest form of spirituality is actually giving oneself in, surrendering entirely to the present and to what maybe the creator or the universe has in store for you. But you also said that one can be a co-creator in manifesting. I just want to ask you, is one way of doing that, perhaps in a way that really allows the universe to take hold of you, is one way of doing that actually maintaining yourself as much as you can in the optimal physical health? So in some ways you're, the most healthy instrument through which the universe can channel itself?
So, living a life with the laws of nature, now people call it the laws of physics. So your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle, your eating clean, regulated conscious breathing, what people call movement therapy, is being reduced to being an animal and instinctive. Let's call it yoga. Yoga, asana, the seat of consciousness, the seed of consciousness. So when you actually do Tadasana, the attributes of a palm tree become you. So when you actually do a Dhanurasana, the power of the bow to align the trajectory and to hit with the mark to make you an archer by default happens. So the spiritual ways of health, healing and wholeness starts with dhyana, which means first letting go before you start any practice. And don't practice yoga, live yoga. So letting go, emptying yourself. So when you do Anuloma Viloma, the importance should be on Viloma in emptying yourself. The more you empty, the more you can refill, is the Tao, philosophy of Tao. So till you empty, you cannot refill. And the man is the most courageous who knows how to let go. Because when you empty, you get filled in. So when we actually put our forehead to the ground and touch the Agyan Chakra to the ground, which means we are grounded and the occipital cavity opens up, because otherwise it is constricted and restricted. So ego is always in play, the me, I becomes high. But when you do like this, the I dissolves and the we-ness comes in. So the we-ness is the wellness, because harmonizing is wellness. Wellness is not about detox, it's all nonsense. Wellness is about surrender, swikriti, reorient, reorganize. Just allow it to happen. Because when you are in surrender, you are getting reset, reorganized, reoriented by itself. You are not the karta. We have the ego that I am doing this. No, it happens. I am writing my 8th book, Curd Karma, in which the karma of the yogurt is so important that take very little yogurt and lots of milk, blend it and leave it for 12 hours. दही अपने आप जमेगा, हर घंटे चम्मच घुमाओगे तो दही कैसे जमेगा? So inaction. So the manifestation of inaction is the highest order of spirituality.
Dr. Mehta, you've elevated our discussion today. Thank you for introducing this point, because we started by asking you, how does one manifest their dreams? You've almost said, have your dream in mind, but allow the universe to do its own work. Let the universe, in a sense, jamao your curd, where your curd is your dream. Let it do the work for itself.
Yeah, dahi jamne do. And 30 seconds for my 10 commandments of real wellness.
Sure.
Commandment number 1. Let wellness be the religion number 1, because wellness unites and religions divide. Commandment number 2, join a wellness revolution for human evolution and not to lose weight from here and here. Commandment number 3, for strong biceps, the best exercises uplift the poor. Commandment number 4, the best exercise for strong shoulders is to take the responsibility of the underprivileged. Commandment number 5, the best exercise for strong legs is to be rooted in humility, to be better rooted in humanity. Commandment number 6, sleep every night with a wish to heal yourself and wake up every morning with a promise to heal the world. And then you will get energized, maximize, optimize, naturalize, internalize, eternalize, revolutionize, evolutionize, humanize, immunize. With Toya, you will get mesmerized. And with the breakfast show on CNBC, everyone gets Mickey Mouse.
Dr. Mickey Mehta, thank you. Thank you for bringing, I don't just want to say your energy, I think some of the wisdom you've brought our audiences this morning has been incredible. Okay, we're taking you from Dr. Mickey Mehta now to another voice. This is Professor and Dr. Parin Somani. Now, she is a academic scholar, she's an international motivational speaker, and she's a humanitarian. She's also got, ladies and gentlemen, 6 doctorate degrees and recognition in the World Book of Records. Now, we thought Dr. Somani, because she's been empowering individuals worldwide behind the scenes with her own dedication, her own resilience to societal upliftment, she would be another interesting perspective to bring onto the show to understand a little bit more about our conversation today. So let's go to her next. Dr. Somani, if we could ask you, I'm sure you heard that discussion, if we could ask you in concrete terms, what the most powerful habit one can develop is to start this entire journey, what would you say?
First of all, Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
And it's very nice to be connecting on the fresh start of the new year, which is very, very important for everyone, and especially to manifest on a brand new year in 2025. What are the habits can we develop? It's very interesting. I would suggest that, for manifesting one good habit and a powerful habit, it's a gratitude. Gratitude remains in our life. It's always there, and that transforms your mindset and align your energy into positivity. So I think gratitude is the good way of connecting. And as I am a CEO and a director of London Organization of Skills Development, that really helps me to connect with my people around the world in a positivity. So I think so. That's the message I would like to say, a powerful message, a powerful habit to develop in one's life is a gratitude.
But Dr. Somani, if I could ask you, gratitude is one of those qualities that it's easy to talk about, but tricky to understand how we can actually incorporate it into our daily life. So what's your advice there?
I think so. To practice gratitude, it's not easy. This is within us, I would say. But to practice the gratitude is the way how we look forward and how we can thank for everything. So when you wake up in the morning, what do we do first? We wake up in the morning and we thank to God that He has made us still alive on this earth to do something good for today. So I would say take it a day. So to have a habit and to have that sort of a thing, that makes a lot of difference in our life. And especially practicing gratitude is like gratitude jar. Think about it. When you can write something and put it in your jar, a gratitude letter, or also a gratitude walk. Go for a walk in the nature around us, around your neighborhood, and look at the beauty around us. Gratitude in and looking the nice sceneries, nice pictures. Doing a ritual is one of the gratitude. Affirmation, like what? I want to be positive. I want to say good things. I want to do good things. That is all the jars, all the positive, all the things what we do in our life. There are many, many things, like a meditation is one of the gratitude. Mapping up, that is one of the gratitude. And to have, when you have a dinner, I don't know about others, but it's my always a habit of having a dinner. Anytime, whenever I eat any food in my mouth, something goes, I always pray, because food is there for everyone. But remember, there are so many people who are hungry, who are not able to get the food. So I'm so thankful to God that He has given me a roof over me and He has given me food. So it's always, and I think so, by making the gratitude a regular practice, a creative practice, we can foster in our personal life, and that's a good way in your life.
Okay, so put gratitude right at the center. Dr. Somani, we just had Dr. Mickey Mehta right before you, and when we asked him what the right way to manifest is, he actually said that manifestation is one way, but the most elevated form of manifestation is actually to almost allow the universe to manifest for you. If you had to answer that, what to you is the right way to manifest?
There is a concept, and in that concept, there is a techniques, and that techniques has to be increased and the effectiveness of manifestation. So here's are some of the powerful, interesting ideas you can incorporate into your everyday life. Number one, clarity and specificity. So when you have clarity in whatever you do, so you say, I want to be a millionaire. That's my manifestation of the year of 2025. But you want to be a millionaire. What do you mean by that? Do you want to have money of the millionaire, or you want to be millionaire of serving the humanity? So you need to be clear in what you want to do, and affirmation is a very important. So always remember, you have a right way of saying things from your mouth. Gratitude is also one of the way of manifestation. Feel the emotions. Feel yourself. Emotion is the energy behind manifestation, and embody your manifestation. So physically and mentally act. When you are acting in that way, that is a manifestation. You manifestation in abundance. For example, if you are manifesting abundance, start managing your money with an abundant mindset and feel what it would be like to live today and tomorrow and for the future. And always one other thing I would say, let go. Sometimes there are so many things in our life, we can't hold on to the things. We have to let go things. And when we let go, it really helps us to grow in our personal life. Action is also one of the part of manifestation. Vision board is very important. Law of attraction. You attract good things. If you want good things in your life, always will happen. But if you are surrounded by the positive people, you are attracting positive people. When you are surrounded by negative people, you are attracting. And always remember the mindfulness and the meditation. Energy in clearing. That is all. There are so many manifestation. You name, it's never enough.
Okay, Dr. Somani, if we could ask you, lastly, one simple practice that you recommend everyone watching right now should adopt to create a fulfilling, a successful 2025. What would you tell everyone watching The Breakfast Club right now?
I just wanted to share a little story. I'm a cancer patient. And for me, this message is so important that you see my photo of my face is not even real. But still, I have a hope to live and help the people around. And that has given me, in 2 decades ago, I've lost my vision. I become blind. And then they found out I got amyloblastoma. So for me, to have that sort of gratitude and to have that sort of practice of manifesting and be a successful in this 2025, that is a big challenge which I have gone through in my life. And that is why I said the 3 key messages really help me and also help me to grow. Number 1, believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, the world will believe. Even the caterpillar changes into the beautiful butterfly. So everybody listening to me today, on the line, off the line, who are on the live, remember, you have the strength. You can change the world. You can inspire with your beautiful manifestation of dreaming big and helping others. Number 2, be honest. Be on your ethical part. Follow your true instinct. Don't cheat anyone. Don't lie. Be of your word what you want to do for others. And number 3, build the bridges between societies, between the people around you where you are. Be the part of the wider society, not the problem. And that's what the year 2025 will bring you to the end of happiness and fulfilling and be on a ladder of success.
Dr. Somani, thank you for joining us. Two very, very positive voices to start your year and obviously your morning and your week right. We are midway through the week, but in a sense, we are right at the start of this year. We're going to head into a quick break. We hope those two voices left you with interesting ways to think about manifesting. Is manifesting something you do? Is it something the universe does for you in which you are a co-actor? We're going to head into a quick break. On the other side, we continue to talk about how to bring the blessings into your life, but we're also going to be looking at other things like the AQI and what vehicle you can take to the road. So stay with us. This is The Breakfast Club.
Last night we had over 300 officers out here, and because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
Welcome back. You're watching The Breakfast Club. Before the break, we told you a little bit about manifestation, the science, the beliefs that experts have around it, whether they think it's even something you should do. And now we're going to take you to a different kind of making your dreams come true by aligning the luck around you. If you're still filled with questions about what 2025 might hold, both for yourself and for the world at large, each year obviously carries unique energy with it, challenges, opportunities. We find ourselves looking for guidance to navigate what lies ahead. We've taken a look at astrology in this last week. We thought that it would be remiss to not look at the ancient art, the ancient science of numbers. They've always played a profound role in shaping human understanding of the universe. Numbers are more than mere figures. They are vibrations and they influence our lives in different ways. Now, 2024 was a year of karmic lessons. We thought we should take a look at what 2025 will be ruled by. What do we mean when we say ruled? Well, numerologists say that 2024 was about the number 8 and the planet Saturn. But what does that actually mean? What are supposed to be the real-life manifestations and ramifications? What does it do to your personal relationships, financial growth, all of these areas? And what can 2025 mean to any of them? That's obviously the interesting aspect here. Now, 2025 is 2 + 2 + 5, 9. But what does any of that mean? Is there science behind any of it? How can you decode the energies that this year holds? To tell us a little bit more on all of this, we're joined today by astronumerologist Sakshi Dugal-Kumriya. She's with us this morning. Hello, Sakshi ji. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Can you just tell us, we were sharing with our audiences, and this is something we've talked about before, that 2025 is supposed to be the number 9. Just lay down for us first what it means for this year to be number 9, and then tell us that is there even a way to summarize what it will mean for all of us, or will it differ based on what our numbers are individually? How does any of this work?
Firstly, a very, very happy new year to all our viewers, and thank you for having me today on this show. I'm full of gratitude to be here to reach out to so many people to tell that how this year is going to look like. Numerology is all about 9 planets. So we have 9 planets in the solar system, and we are talking about number 9, 2 + 0 + 2 + 5. As you said, it totals up to 9. 9 is the topmost number in the chart of numerology. It means you want everything. Yes, it does differ from person to person because everybody can't be the same, right? Even twins have their own destinies, they have their own lives, being born on the same day and from the same parents, but everybody has their own destiny. But today we are talking in general. 2025 is a year of spiritual growth, a reflection, a period, a phase wherein everybody, each one of us, we went through a lot of challenging phases, personally, professionally, emotionally, financially in 2024 because it was a karmic year. We all faced our karmic journeys, but this is like a damage control year. This is the year to actually putting everything to reality. So 2025 embarks on all positive things for oneself. There's a very thin line between being selfish and self-centered. This year it's all about being self-centered. So it's all about us. So each one of us are going to channelize our own priorities and having our own destiny from here on. So here is the answer, that it's a generic positive year for all of us, but of course we all go through certain phases of life, and we will talk about all our numbers as we continue the session.
Right. So just tell us, if we look at 2025 as the year in which we almost, I don't want to say the word compensate, but we almost undo the wrongs that happened to us in this last year, what does that mean for each number? So, let's just stop for a second. Let's tell our audiences to have their number in their heads, whatever is their own number. How do we now understand, okay, this is my number and this is what this year could be?
Yes, so when we talk about numerology, God has given 3 planets by birth to everybody. Today we are going to talk about only the date you're born on, the date. That's the first number. So whatever your date of birth is, just consider it your main date and total it up and single it out to a single digit. So if you're born on 1st, 10th, 19th or 28th, you're a number 1 because your total comes to number 1 and you're ruled by Sun. So this year, number 1 is absolutely going to prioritize their career, their selves, because they're the givers. They're the leaders, they're the givers, they have done enough. They are born to guide the world because there's one sun. So sun gives all the energies to all the planets and everything. But this year, because 2024 left a very, it left a very big impact on them. Personally and professionally, they realize that it's important to give themselves some position, and charity begins at home. So this year, number 1 is going to live for themselves, especially after February. Mid-Feb onwards, Sun will activate in their own respective charts according to numerology. So this year, whosoever is listening to us who are born on 1st, 10th, 19th and 28th, this is your year to travel, take on good opportunities, new diversifications in work. Health is going to take a lot of importance because their lower portion was impacted last year. 24 taught a lot of importance of health to these people because they really take their lives very lightly because they feel chalega, they can manage, and but no, you need to serve yourself first.
Okay, and what about 2?
And coming to number 2 is Moon. Number 2 is ruled by Moon. So anybody who's got the date as 2, 11, 29th and 20th, they're ruled by Moon. So these numbers were very gullible last year. Mentally, they were very exhausted and they went through a lot of toxic relationships. And I do so many sessions, and it was a year which took a lot of turmoil in their personal lives. So this year, just do what you like to do, want to do, learn to say a no. February 16th is going to change the diversification and energies for number 2. Take your mental health as priority, and a lot of wealth is coming for them. Number 2 are going to earn a lot of money, and emotionally they'll be getting their own safer zone. So it's a happy year for them because yes, mental health is very important for them. And we can move on to number 3 now. Number 3, whosoever is born on 3rd, 12th, 21st and 30th, they're ruled by Jupiter. So honestly, so this year 2024, so many number 3 people faced divorces, challenges, toxic relationships. It was very emotionally exhausting for them. So it's a breather. Number 9, 2025. So there's a group in numerology which we fondly call them 369 group. So whosoever is born on these dates will be benefited to another extent. Exponential growth, work-wise, I'm looking at them making a lot of money because whatever bad debts and wrong investments were done now, from March, 28th March 2025 onwards, number 3, 6, and 9 will get benefited financially to another level. It's a very, very good time for them. So another 2 months to go. As they say, the elephant has passed and just the little thing is left now. So this is their year to live. It's a year of self-reflection. So come out of your emotional turmoils and live for yourself, especially financially. It's going to be a very, very positive year for them.
Could we move on to all the other numbers? We just have 3 minutes left, but I do want to cover all the numbers in depth. So in the speed that you can, if possible,
4,
let's just,
I'll try to do that. Number 4 was born on 4th, and the total up. So now that audience can total up their day. Number 4 is all about focus. And yes, health-wise, they went through a lot of challenge. Since September, October were very challenging times for them. Again, this planet will have a lot of financial liberty and emotional stability. But they need to work on their verbal conduct. They need to be very, very watchful in their professional lives to just give advices to the ones who want to take it. And professionally, they'll go to a better position. Dignified positions are going to come on their way. Number 5, 5th, 14th, and 23rd bonds were going through a lot of mental anxiety. This is a year of self-reflection. Take a pause. This year is about them. So just pause, sit back, and just reflect on yourself, because they did go through a lot. They're perfectionist, They can't just compromise on anything. They want everything in abundance. But this year is about them. So a lot of mental peace is on their way if they start working on themselves. Number 6, it's all about, as I said, 3, 6, 9. That group is going to benefit to another level. It's about you guys. So whoever is born on 6, 15, and 24, live life king size. Go and live your life and do whatever you want to do, of course, in your in all the good positive directions, because karmic year taught us a lot. We can't just take our karmas lightly. And coming to number 7, now because it's 25 is very prominent. It's a universal number 7. It's a year of spiritual growth. 7 people, you're going to be a little lonely. Go off the people who don't serve you any purpose. You will withdraw from a lot of social engagements, because now you'll put yourself on priority list. But spiritually, intellectually, work related, you will elevate to another level. So number 7 is going to really get benefited. It's a personal growth year. And number 8, what to say? You went through, you had it all. You made the whole world go round around you. You want a lot of materialistic gains. You get it all. And this number, specifically, whoever is born on 8th, 17th, and 26th, is going to get, personally, there's a lot of happiness and contentment than materialistic gains, because they had it. And now, 9th, 18th, and 27th, it's all about you guys. Strength, power, sports, athlete, it's like fitness, beauty, money. How we take life into a calculation way, when we calculate everything together, personally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. It's a collective positive year for anybody who's born on 9th, 18th, and 25, but do not absorb any sort of negativity from others. So it's okay if people misunderstand you. It's absolutely okay. Just live and just be on your track and be very focused. So this is your year. So especially people born on 3, 6, 9, and 7, this is a remarkable year for them. Nevertheless, wishing everybody a very, very happy, prosperous, healthy, wealthy 2025.
Thank you so much for highlighting all of that for us. I think I love the note you ended on: stay moisturized, stay unbothered, and keep flourishing. There's a meme that says that, and I feel like very much in words you said the same thing. All right, we're going to move on from that now to something entirely different. Let's take you to stories that are taking place across the country right now first. First, the IMD saying that 2024 was the warmest on record in India. Now, this is looking at just the last, so since 1901, the average minimum temperature setting 0.90 degrees Celsius above the long period average. The annual mean temperature in 2024 was 25.75 degrees, and that itself is also 0.65 degrees above the long period average. And photos that came out late last evening, everyone's favorite singer, actor Diljit Dosanjh calling on the Prime Minister on New Year's Day, discussing a range of subjects and even singing for him. He expressed his bliss upon the meeting. Diljit Dosanjh described it as a very memorable meeting with the Prime Minister. A fantastic start to 2025, a very memorable meeting with the Prime Minister. He said we talked about a lot of things, including music. Of course, the Prime Minister has also acknowledged and talked about how lovely it was for him.
जिसने योगा को अनुभव किया है वो उसकी ताकत जानता है।
हाँ जी सर, मैंने आपका इंटरव्यू देखा था सर अभी हाल ही में। हमारे लिए आप प्रधानमंत्री बहुत।
And lastly, India rang in 2025 by breaking a few instant delivery records. What do we mean? Right from grapes to condoms to packets of chips to handcuffs, the customers ordered everything that could have aided their party mood on the celebratory occasion of New Year's Eve. Blinkit's co-founder Albinder Dhindsa said that delivery executives had delivered 2.3 lakh packets of aloo bhujia and 6,834 packets of ice cubes just by 8 p.m. So that's just before the party really started on December 31st. He added that 39% of the deliveries made were for condoms. All right. And with that, we're going to head into a quick break. On the other side, of course, we're bringing you more New Year's cheer. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Last night, we had over 300 officers out here. And because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
All right, welcome back to the Breakfast Club. What would we be without the AQI check that we bring you every single morning, just to tell you a little bit of what it's like. Now, to give you a little context right now, we're looking at the Delhi NCR region, but Mumbai also isn't faring too well at this time. The last few days, AQI there too has been particularly poor. Right now, though, as we told you earlier, we're bringing you a summary of the Delhi NCR region. And if you are anywhere in the north, you are starting to feel the biting cold. 10 degrees centigrade yesterday too. And today we've seen the entire NCR region wake up to a cloud of fog. It's not the thickest that we're going to see this season. It's going to get much worse, as are the temperatures, so do be prepared. But right now the current AQI at 278, a general improvement over the last few weeks. And let's just take a look at the numbers we've got coming in from the entire region. Before I start, take a look at what you see is the deepest red over here. 599. Those are some extreme numbers coming in from right where we're located, sector 116. You've got 599 coming in, hazardous, but on the slightly more positive side, when you take a look at the rest of the region, it isn't as bad as that. But these numbers are bad. They are worse than they've been in just the last few days. You'll remember on Monday and Tuesday when we were taking a look at these numbers, we'd come into the unhealthy range, which means these numbers had gone into red. Right now, as you can see, they've slipped back into purple. And let's just take a look at some of the numbers over here. So New Delhi numbers you've got coming in, as you can see, all in purple. 209 RK Puram, South Delhi. So where you've got the green lungs, as they say. And let's just quickly check in on Gurugram, where it's 158. So red again. So Gurugram better than Delhi. Delhi a little worse, and then you've got Noida, where parts of Noida just have some shocking numbers coming in. Okay, that's a quick summary. We're going to move on from this now to bringing you very quickly to the roads. If you're in a region of the country where you can experiment on the roads, we'd suggest that you take a look at the brand new 2024 Toyota Camry. If you're not a car enthusiast, don't worry, we've got you covered. Overdrive tells you its verdict on whether or not this is a car to go for. Take a look.
They keep saying sedans are dead, but clearly no one told that to the Camry. It's back here in its 9th gen form. It now costs rupees 48 lakhs, and let's see what you actually get with it now. So now, as you can see, dimensionally it hasn't changed all that much. In fact, the underlying architecture also is very similar to the last model. But what you do get is much sharper styling. You have these very sharp new headlamps with this C kind of signature. Here you also have ADAS now. You can see it with the camera, and the sensors very neatly integrated into here. And a much more aggressive look with this really large air dam. Now the engine is, or the hybrid powertrain is completely new. It's the 5th generation unit, as Toyota calls it. So what that means is the battery is now a lithium-ion pack, and it's sharper, more efficient in its responses and so on. I'm sure torque has also gone up. We still don't have all the figures. So yeah, that is what has changed with the engine. Also, there's an increase in fuel economy as well. It now returns 25 kmpl. Now, as you can see, the cabin itself has changed quite a bit, but it still has that mix of toughness, that functional feel that you want from a Toyota, with that slightly luxurious edge that you always find in a Camry. But with this horizontal layout, it's become a bit more like a luxury car than the last version. Although I must say that this surface here is soft, this is soft as well. But again, these air vents, they have a nice hefty feel to them. You still have chunky hard buttons for most of the controls as you want in a Toyota. Same with the buttons here for the drive modes and so on. So yeah, and again, the plastics here have that slightly rugged feel to them. So again, yeah, you do notice it's a familiar feeling cabin in terms of how you want from a Camry, but Toyota has really gone to town with the features. Yes, you only have a single pane sunroof, but that's pretty much the only drawback that I can see, because what you do get is a head-up display, 2 new 12.3 inch screens. Now the screen We'll get into it later when we drive the car, but it's pretty much the latest that you can find in any Toyota or Lexus. So it works reasonably well. Like I mentioned, there's a head-up display. Now there's a fully digital display, not the part digital kind of thing that the old one had. You have a 10-way adjustable seat for the driver. You have 3-zone climate control. You have ventilated seats, a wireless charger. It's also comfortable now. I have big supportive seats. The cushioning is pretty decent and good amount of storage. The door pockets, they're quite large. You have a big storage bin here. A big space to keep your stuff here. 3 Type-C charge ports. So in that regard, it's really quite well equipped. And also this is something you don't see very often in cars of this price point, but there is also a powered steering adjustment. It's really quite a rare feature. Now a big part of the Camry's appeal is the backseat. That's pretty much the top reason you might want to buy one, and that experience hasn't changed. In fact, again, like the rest of the car, they have tried to enhance it. Yes, these hard plastics here, they don't quite feel in the right place for a 48 lakh rupee car, but other than that, the kind of comfort that I have, especially with the cushioning of the seats, the way they cocoon me, they're really quite comfortable. And just look at the kind of space I have, even headroom, even with this being a sedan with that more exaggerated coupe-ish roof line, I still have a decent amount of headroom. But yeah, this is a comfortable space, especially if you're traveling 4 people together. And then again, here you do have a good set of amenities. You have 2 Type-C chargers here. You have the seat controls for the Boss function, and you have these sunshades and the controls for the rear sunshade, the 3rd climate zone, and you can control the seats from here. All of those things, the music system control. So this is
All right, next we take you to a special section on financial markets powered by Money Control Pro. It's Money Control's premium destination for investing and business insights. Let's take a look first at markets, where GIFT Nifty trends are indicating a weak start for Indian equity indices. Asian equity indices were trading mixed. This is amid cautious sentiment during New Year. US markets were closed, obviously, because it was New Year on Wednesday. Crude oil prices inched up marginally post data showing dip in US stockpiles. Let's take a look specifically at a sector. We're going to take a look today at companies that are doing outsourced manufacturing for organized jewelry brands. They're enjoying good demand as we speak. The introduction of hallmarking and a reduction in import duty on gold are favoring organized brands in particular. You have many large jewelry players that are resorting to third-party outsourcing as we speak. Operating leverage and high-margin exports are driving margin expansion. You can log into Money Control Pro to find out more about India's jewelry sector and various other actionable insights on the markets. It's the premier destination for all investing views and financial insights that you're ever going to need, brought to you by Money Control. And with that, we are drawing our show to the close. We hope that over the last few days, you've been enjoying our New Year's specials. We took a look at how to build habits. Today, we've taken a look at manifestations. We're going to continue on this road tomorrow too. Not going to spoil the surprise further, but we hope that you're implementing or finding space in your life at least to implement some of the lessons that we're discussing every morning. For now, that's all that we have. Thank you for joining us.
Co-powered by.
All right, moving on to more news from United States. 15 people were killed and at least 35 injured after a man drove into large crowd in New Orleans, Louisiana in the early hours of New Year's Day. At about 3:15 local time on New Year's Day, a Ford pickup truck rammed into crowd gathered on Bourbon Street in the heart of New Orleans, and French Quarters is where the incident has happened. And the CCTV footage shows a white Ford F-150 lightning vehicle driving onto the pavement to get around a police car before hitting the pedestrians. Now, police described the act as very intentional, adding that the attacker, identified as Samshuddin Jabbar, was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. I'm now joined by my colleague Akansha Swaroop on this broadcast. Akansha, give us more detail about this accused. What was his plan really when he rammed into this particular area?
A very good morning, Sharon. It's deeply tragic that the new year for Americans has begun on such a tragic, horrifying note. This entire incident is being treated as a terrorist act. Also, not to forget the fact that we're looking at this entire incident where 15 people have been declared dead. Now, the FBI, which is also going to be, is already investigating this entire matter, will be.
Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning into CNN News 18. I'm Shen Elizabeth Matthew. Let's begin this bulletin with the top news this hour, which is coming in from United States, where an unfortunate incident has taken place where 15 people were killed and at least 35 injured after a man drove into large crowds in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the early hours of New Year's Day. Now, police described the act as very intentional, adding that the attackers, identified as Samshuddin Jabbar, was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. Now, we are learning that cops do not believe that the suspect Shamsuddin Jabbar was solely responsible for the Bourbon Street attack, and he could have been working with associates.
To all the families of those who were killed, to all those who were injured, to all the people of New Orleans who are grieving today, I want you to know, I grieve with you. Our nation grieves with you. We're going to stand with you as you mourn and as you heal in the weeks to come.
All right, I'm now joined by my colleague Akansha Swaroop live on this broadcast. Akansha, very unfortunate incident on the New Year's that has happened in the United States. What do we really know about the background of the suspect here? And is this an ISIS-inspired, or is ISIS directly involved? What are you picking up when it comes to this incident?
A very good morning to you, Sharon, and all to our viewers as well. And deeply tragic stories coming in from the United States, as you rightly mentioned. The one in New Orleans, of course, the truck driver named Shamsuddin he's a US Army veteran who had previously served in Afghanistan, 42 years of age, and a Texas resident. What's in fact drawing suspicion at the moment by the FBI is the fact that his truck was also carrying an ISIS flag. Remember, he had served in Afghanistan. I think the FBI in some time will be able to establish better if there were connections with ISIS and what has been the role of ISIS. But this entire incident is being treated as a terror incident. This happened on New Year's at the Bourbon Street in New Orleans. As I've been highlighting consistently, it was a cold-blooded murder, closely contemplated, because Bourbon Street is known for its nightlife. It is a tourist hotspot. And clearly, this was a very closely contemplated move. 15 people, remember, dead, all of them New Year revelers, party goers. Little did they expect that this is going to happen. But deeply tragic, Sharon, and one that has already drawn the ire of the US President-elect Donald Trump. He's, of course, gone on to blame this on the Democrats who he holds responsible for illegal immigration. And at the same time, the current US President Joe Biden was also trolled because his first tweet after this incident that came was wishing people a very happy new year. Soon after, he took charge of the situation, where he went on to announce and, of course, sent his condolences to the family of all those deceased. And at the same time, he's talked about how FBI is handling this. It's being treated as a terror-related incident. But this is being a quintessential bone of contention between the Republicans and the Democrats. And Donald Trump's been very vocal about it, not just for the United States. We've seen what's been happening in Europe. Just days ago, there was another truck that had driven through a Christmas market in Germany. Again, that was somebody who had been seeking refuge he was a Saudi Arabian who was seeking refuge in Germany. So expect Donald Trump to now be cracking whip on illegal immigration, something he's been totally vocal about. The Twitter right now has been going ablaze with how people should now stop being woke, that it's time to end wokeism only because they believe that Democrats are these woke people who are allowing these illegal immigrants inside the United States.
Absolutely, Akansha. This is, of course, going to be putting a pressure on Donald Trump as well. But Akansha, when we talk about this incident, around 35 people have been injured and around 15 have been killed. What do we know about the injured? And if you could take us through the timeline of the incident, when exactly it happened, the details of this incident.
Yes, you rightly mentioned that over 30 people have been injured, and that also includes 2 police officers. They were wounded in this retaliatory gunfire that took place between this Shamsuddin Jabbar, who's 42 years of age. He was a US citizen from Texas. There was retaliatory fire. It took place around 3:15 a.m. local time near the intersection of the canal that's there and Bourbon Street. And as I've been highlighting, Sharon, it is a historic tourist destination which is known for its music, its nightlife, even the bars, and crowds always every year as a ritual gather there for New Year celebration. And we all know that soon after this incident happened, the FBI also swarmed in. They've been taking charge of the entire situation. And as far as New Orleans is concerned, it's also going to be very critical for them because the city is going to be hosting NFL Super Bowl on 9th of February.